Josh Burns, Labor MP, joins us now in the studio to discuss that horrific attack on a synagogue in Melbourne South East. Hi, Josh. How's the community going?
Morning, Bridge. People have shattered. I mean, this is a terror attack in Australia. It's historic for all of the wrong reasons. And to see the images of a synagogue burnt down, I mean, to understand what this community is. The Adass community came here from Eastern Europe, mainly Hungary. They were post-Holocaust survivors, and they came here looking for a safe place. And they're very orthodox, very religious community, very tight-knit, very peaceful, and they've lived in the East St Kilda, Ripponlea area for as long as I've been alive. And this synagogue is a hub of life. You know, there are people learning there all day, and to see the centre of their community burnt down was shattering.
So it's been described as a likely terror attack by the government, the firebombing of the synagogue. So too is the recent attack on your electorate office. Again, a likely terror attack. As an MP, and I guess more importantly as a member of the Jewish community, how are you feeling about these incidents and as a pointer to where society in Australia is heading?
I think the Jewish community, and certainly, you know, I've been on this program before, people have been raising concerns about the rise in anti-Semitism in Australia. This is not the Australia that I grew up in, where, you know, for most of my life and for the community, this has been a country where it's been so safe and so free, and yet the daily barrage of anti-Semitism that certainly I've experienced and the community's experience has been really troubling. And I think we need to stand united against it, with clarity and strength, and say, actually, we are a proud multicultural country. And people should be able to go about their business and practice their faith freely. And anyone who commits a crime of this nature needs to have real consequences.
Did you think when your electorate office was attacked, did you in your mind clarify or classify that as a likely terror attack? How did you feel about it at the time?
No, I was really obviously disturbed by it, and to have it was an anti-Semitic attack. You know, people drew horns on my head. They smashed up the office. It was an act of terrible vandalism, and you know, I think it was politically motivated. Now, the police didn't declare that as a terror attack at the time. These things need to be done in a way that is via a process, because anything that gets declared in that way can have an effect in the court case that follows, and police and prosecutions need to do this carefully and deliberately. You know, it doesn't excuse it at all. It was shocking. It was shocking for my staff. It was shocking for the broader St Kilda community, who, you know, are such a welcoming and wonderful
community.
St Kilda's great. I mean, I live in St Kilda. It's heaven. But it's. You know, but in this instance, the police have obviously made this determination. They have more evidence than I have before me, so I'll let police work through those details.
OK, the Prime Minister announced this anti-Semitism task force yesterday. When is he going to visit the synagogue?
I'll let the Prime Minister talk about his schedule for obvious reasons, Michael, but I've been in constant contact with him, and I know he's been in touch with the leadership of the shul, and that'll happen in the not-too-distant future.
We just had James Patterson, the Shadow Home Affairs Minister, on the program, saying that he's been approached by many members of the community saying they feel disappointed not to have seen the Prime Minister and other senior ministers at the site. Is that something you've heard? Can you understand that level of frustration?
I think people are hurting, but from my conversations with especially the Adass Israel leadership, it's been around what can we do to support the shul getting through this. They have been focused on supporting their community, making sure the people and the synagogue has the resources to rebuild. There's been Torah scrolls that have been damaged, and some need to be repaired, some will need to be replaced. There was one that was brought in from Slovakia and Bratislava, which survived an arson attack in Slovakia, and then now it's survived another arson attack in Melbourne. So that's been what the community's been focused on.
You couldn't attend one of the recent joint media conferences events at the synagogue over the last couple of days. You asked, speaking of James Patterson, him to read out a letter from you. You'd lost your voice, you had throat issues. You're claiming there was a bit of politics played after that point. What are you concerned about?
Well, I was there. I was the first MP on the scene. That morning I came straight away first thing Friday morning, and I actually was really grateful to James, who I couldn't speak. I'm still a bit croaky, you might hear. But I was really grateful to James, who agreed to read out a statement, because I wanted to make sure that my community knew I was there, and that there was a strong condemnation of this, and actually that we do this in a bipartisan way, because right at that moment I wanted to show unity, and I was really grateful to James because he agreed to read out a statement. I know Peter Dutton had a personal crack at me yesterday about losing my voice. Well, his team member actually agreed to read out a statement for me, and then Peter Dutton right at the last minute intervened and told James he couldn't read out the statement. So that's like, if we're going to play those sorts of politics, it's really, I don't think it's in our best interest. I compare that with the community leaders who have been working with people right across the parliament, regardless of their political stripes. I'll stand up with anyone at this moment, the Liberal Party, Labor Party. I honestly don't care. I care about my community. I care about the fact that they've gone through unimaginable pain right now, and my focus is working on how do we support the community through this, and how do we use the resources of government to try and support people. And I'll stand up with James or anyone from the Liberal Party, any layer of government right now, to work through these matters.
James is on the couch where you're sitting just a little bit earlier. Let's hear what he had to say about you, actually. Let's play this now.
I think the sad truth is that the Labor Party has stopped listening to Josh a long time ago, and he hasn't been successful in influencing the government's policy when it comes to protection of the Jewish community or foreign policy, particularly relating to Israel.
So, right reply, what do you say to that?
Well, thanks for putting me on the spot. I mean, look, I'm a strong voice for my community inside government. Sometimes I'm able to influence, sometimes not. That's the reality of politics. But I'll never stop raising my voice and standing up for my community. There have been significant policies that I've been able to achieve for our community, significant things, and my objective is not to be a commentator from the sidelines. My objective is to work inside government and to make sure that whether it's representing the Jewish community or other parts of my electorate, the LGBTIQ community, whatever it is, to make sure that they have a strong voice in government, and that's what I'll continue to do.
In the broader context, another development which you may not be up to speed with, the Simon Wiesenthal Centre in LA has overnight issued a travel advisory warning telling Jews not to travel to Australia. As a member of the Jewish community, how does that make you feel?
Well, we're dealing with the consequences of anti-Semitism. As I said at the start, this has been a historic week for all the wrong reasons, and the declaration of a terror incident, a likely terror incident, has real consequences. So that's, obviously had an impact in the Simon Wiesenthal Centre's advice. My hope is that we're able to get on top of this. All problems have solutions. All problems can be fixed. We have overcome anti-Semitism before, and Australia's been a wonderful place for the Jewish community, and that's what I hope we'll get back to as soon as possible.
Yeah, we all hope that. Thanks very much, Josh,
Thanks,
for your time
Thanks,
this morning.
Michael. And all the best, Michael, for the next chapter.
Oh, thanks very much. Yeah, very much looking forward to it. Thank you.